And we're back, and we just finished watching The Tomorrow War, currently streaming on Amazon Prime. With a runtime of 2 hours and 20 minutes. It's rated PG-13 and dropped today. I'm not really sure if there was anything objectionable in the movie. I mean, there's
a
kind of
warning
like
in the
alien
beginning.
gore.
It's weird. There's the usual warnings, violence and whatnot, and then there's also a warning for sexual content,
which I didn't see. Did you?
There was none. There was unless the kiss of his wife at the end was considered.
Is that considered sexual content? That isn't that.
It was the most PG kiss ever
I've ever seen. Yeah, it wasn't like. They were tonguing each other. Yeah. I don't know. That's
strange choice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
so let's
a director's cut out there or something.
The Snyder cut, or in this case, the Chris McKay cut, directed by Chris McKay with a writing credit to Zach Dean. The story follows a man who is drafted into a war that will basically annihilate all humankind. The lead character
takes place, 30 years in the future?
30 years into the future. The lead character is Dan Forster, played by Chris Pratt, who is a kind of everyman biology teacher.
He's a
high school
ex-special forces biology teacher.
Well, that would explain the muscles, right?
Yeah.
Because I was going to say my biology teacher.
Yeah, my biology was a big fat bald guy.
Yeah, it didn't look like he could bench press.
He got beat up by one of the students. Anyway, so he's got like a suburban life. He's got a wife and a kid, and he's trying to, I guess, use his degrees and stuff to get more of a research position. And he finds out that he doesn't get it on the same day that basically an army from the future bursts out onto a soccer field in the middle of a soccer game and says, "Hey, we're from the future,
and we're all
gonna die unless you come with us back to the future and help us kill aliens."
Yes.
And everybody's just like, "Oh my God, okay."
Lot of exposition in this movie. A lot of exposition.
Not so much exposition, but just like leaps of faith. Because
everything had to be explained, whether it was in a news story or somebody to move the story along.
Yes, I gotta say they got through that part quickly.
Kind of.
Honestly,
to me it was like a little too much, but I don't know.
Well, to me it was like okay, I just gave you the exposition of the people coming from the future, and basically that was it. That was the exposition. It was, we're from the future, there's an alien force, and we need you to come with us and fight with your grandchildren to kill the aliens.
But immediately after that is like just 5 to 10 minutes of news stories.
But like the world just gets on board. It's just like, all right, we're imposing a worldwide draft. And
first the military comes, and then they get annihilated.
Yeah.
And then they do the forced draft.
Right.
And the caveat is, spoilers.
It's not real caveat. It's basically you serve there for 7 days.
No. Oh. You have to have been dead within a 10-year period.
That's like one of the requirements, that you weren't alive during the. I guess they're in the future.
Right, during that
period. You were not alive in
the
future, so I guess maybe there's. They've sort of
the explanation
in passing,
was so that it wouldn't, you wouldn't meet people from there, and they wouldn't meet you.
You wouldn't meet yourself,
right? Yeah. Or somebody that you knew. That's what. Remember, his friend Charles was like. That's probably why they sent these youngins, because there's no overlap. Otherwise, I guess there's a.
Well, I don't think they cared about you meeting somebody that you knew, because obviously they didn't care, because
he meets who he meets.
He meets who he meets.
Yeah.
Which I got to be honest, I pegged that as soon as I saw that character giving orders.
Yeah.
But anyway, I feel like we're sort of like. It sounds like we're crapping on this movie, but it's actually a good movie. It's
decent.
I feel like it's fun.
I feel like this is the quintessential summer action movie,
Yeah,
right? This feels like if we were in a regular time, this would be opening up to a huge box office.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's fun. I mean, it's not the best thing I've ever seen. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. And it's highly entertaining.
It's sort of like a bit of a lesser version of Edge of Tomorrow.
Yes. Yeah, that
Edge of
movie is
Tomorrow,
freaking
Edge of Tomorrow is
amazing.
outstanding, excellent. If you haven't seen Edge of Tomorrow,
Get on
go
that.
see Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
This is not. I would say it's. I wouldn't say it's a poor man's version of it because it's
It's
actually,
its second cousin,
It's
basically.
pretty decent. The special effects are good. The monsters are good. Yeah, you're not going to be lacking for cool things to look at.
Yes.
I remember when like the first trailer came out, it was basically a trailer of Chris Pratt and a bunch of dudes walking through a hallway, and everybody was like, "What the hell is this? This looks like garbage." I hope you don't get dissuaded by that terrible first teaser trailer because this is actually pretty fun.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, I agree with you. I think Edge of Tomorrow is outstanding.
Edge of Tomorrow is
Wow. I mean, I
outstanding,
didn't. Can we talk about how great that movie is? And I don't know
we
that
should review that at
we
some
should
point.
review that at some point. But honestly, I feel like that came out of left field, and that was one of those movies that wasn't
No,
I
think
advert properly
people realized how good it was after
the
it left
fact.
the theater.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because that should have been a bigger box office draw than it was. I mean, that movie had everything.
But this reminded me of that.
And it had Bill Paxton.
Yeah, Bill Paxton.
God damn it.
But this reminded me of Edge of Tomorrow. So I think if you did see Edge of Tomorrow and you did enjoy it, you probably would like this as well.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to suspend disbelief. There's
Some
some
science fiction. You always have to suspend.
Yes. So there's that. I mean, this is again, like you said, it's not a bad movie. It's highly entertaining. If you want to shut off your brain for 2 hours and change and just be entertained, this is definitely a thing to watch.
It's like a classic summer blockbuster movie.
Yes, absolutely.
You want to have fun in the theater, and
this is it.
And you don't have to go to the theater, which is nice. Just watch it on Amazon.
At home, sure. Seriously. I mean, even after we get over this hurdle of crazy pandemics, I feel like my going to the movie theaters is going to be very limited because all the best snacks are here at my house, and I can watch it in my jammies.
Special events only, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But I think everybody did a good job. I mean, they had, Chris Pratt was good.
Chris Pratt was great. I love J.K. Simmons. Anything he's in, I'm pretty much on board.
Conspiracy Santa.
That was a great.
The comedy relief guy was
Sam Richardson, who was Charlie. He was fantastic.
He was good without being annoying.
Yes.
Sort of like the guy who. There was like the real serious soldier guy who basically was less like, I'm dead.
Edwin
I'm
Hodge,
dead. I'm dead regardless.
Who plays Dorian? Yes.
He was really good. Yeah, I thought it was okay. There were a couple of parts where you're just like, it would have been so much easier if they just did this. But
sure,
that's going to happen when you're watching these type of movies.
Any kind of movie like this. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, I think if you liked Edge of Tomorrow, you would probably enjoy this one as well.
Agreed. Action, science fiction.
Action, good sci-fi story.
Elements of peril.
There's
not profanity in this, I don't feel like. Maybe like 1 or 2 words.
I mean, it was PG-13, so maybe they tossed in an S word.
Yeah, I feel like there were definitely, I don't remember hearing an F word. Yeah. So if it's rated PG-13, I think parents, you can feel free to let your even 11, 10-year-old watch this. I mean, there's nothing.
We let our 9-year-old. She was
very into it. Yeah.
She was out of her seat during all the high tension moments.
Yeah. Doing her anxiety jig.
Yeah. She laughed at the funny bits and.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing.
And the monsters were scary, but she wasn't like disturbed
by it. The good FX work on the monsters.
The creatures
really well done.
Really well done.
The spaceship, fantastic. I liked all of that. It reminded me a lot of like Prometheus, like the inside. Well, not exactly like Prometheus,
they
but
definitely like aped some of that, you know,
Yeah.
like the greasy interior of the
Yeah,
spaceship
yeah,
with
yeah.
like the ribbed hallways.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, what's going on in space that
Everyone has the same architectural
aliens
firm.
I guess aliens like tripping on stuff. Because the floor is just never just a flat floor. It's like
No.
for some reason it's like
It's
we gotta rib
wavy.
everything.
Yeah.
The floor too? Yeah, the floor too.
Yeah, it's like a Lay's potato chip. Or a Ruffles.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, so this is a quick one. Cause,
Yeah, I mean, there's really nothing to pick apart. I mean, I'm sure there's going to
nothing
be
too deep about it. I think if there is like some sort of message, it's
family's important.
family's important, and don't feel bad for the opportunities you don't get, because sometimes the thing you really need is always right there, right in front of you.
As Chris Pratt tells us in the end
yes,
voiceover.
at the very end, he gives us the.
1 to 10, what would you give it?
I'd give this a 7.
A 7? Yeah, this is a 7 for me too. Really
Yeah,
good action
solid 7.
sequences, tight, really well done special effects. I can't get over how good those aliens looked. Even like just running down the highways or like the roads towards the soldiers, just really well
that
done.
looked really good.
Yeah, there was definitely money invested in this, and just you can see it. Good acting. I thought all the key players did a great job. It's always good to see. I'll say it again, J.K. Simmons. I'll watch him in anything, even a State Farm commercial, because he's the bee's knees. And it's so funny. Farmers Insurance, right? That's it. State Farm is the other guy that gets the free pizza.
Yeah.
Jake. Yeah, really well done. I mean, not again, like you said, not a difficult story, just really easy peasy, living breezy kind of summer action, sci-fi summer movie.
Something bad happens, and the good guys got to go stop it.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I mean, if you haven't seen it and you want to watch something new, definitely check out The Tomorrow World. That's dropped tonight. The Tomorrow War. Tomorrow World is something else. Where did I get that from?
I don't know.
Or no, what was that? What was the George Clooney thing? Tomorrowland?
Tomorrowland.
Tomorrow World. It's Tomorrow World.
I never said Tomorrow World.
Okay, sorry. That was my mistake. It's
Tomorrow War.
it's the
Get
tomorrow.
that stuck in your head.
I don't want it stuck in my head.
Tomorrow War. Tomorrow War. Tomorrow War. Tomorrow War.
Yes, go check out The Tomorrow War, currently streaming on Amazon Prime. So that's it from us. Have a good night.
Good night.
And happy 4th.
Oh, and happy 4th too, if you celebrate.